when Grandmama had Joy, she wanted to be with her family when she had the baby and her family doctor. So she was in Salisbury or Spencer, and I was getting ready to open the store, and there was an old building that was empty next to a barber shop, and I asked the barber who owned the store, the building, and he said Bill Creech, the druggist. So I went down there and asked Mr. Creech. I knew him because he had a farm across from my dad. And I went down and I said, Mr. Creech, would you rent me that old building down there? He said, son, what in the world would you want with that old building? It was so bad. He said that. I said, I want to open me a little repair shop, watch repair shop. He said, if you want that old building, you can have it for $25 a month. So I said, and I didn't have $1 to my name. I had some change, but it wouldn't amount to $1. And I said, well, give me a broom and a key and let me go down and start cleaning it out. And I went down and started. It didn't have a back door to it, no toilet. And I started sweeping, and there was a bunch of junk in there at an old doctor's office. And they throwed everything on the floor, looked like. And when I got up to the front door, I was getting the trash out, and my uncle came by. He said, son, what in the world are you doing? I said, Uncle Jack, I'm fixing to open me a little watch repair shop. He said, you'll need some money, won't you? I said, yes, sir, I don't have any. And he said, son, how much money would you need? And I said, Uncle Jack, I can do what I want to do for $750. And he said, son, you can't open a business with $750. I said, yes, I can. I've got it all figured out. And I did. And he said, let's walk down to the bank. Well, the business section was made up of 4 blocks, and the bank was on a corner. And we walked down to the bank, and he told the cashier to put me $750 in a checking account. And the next day, I caught a bus to Greensboro, North Carolina, where Esther Rose sold watch parts. And I bought a few little things I needed. And I went back, and this old Sears had a store that was a dry goods store. He sold cloth and shoes, and that's all. And he had an old showcase that I must say, and his name was Abadollar. We called him Grabadollar. And I said, Mr. Abadollar, will you sell me that old showcase? He said yes. And I said, what will you charge me for? And he said, do you play checkers? And I said, yes, sir. I played a few games. And he said, I'll tell you what I'll do, Sillyman. He called me Sillyman. I said, he said, I'll play you 3 games of checkers, double or nothing, whether you pay me $150 or whether you pay me nothing. And I said, you got a deal. And he just locked up his place of business. And we took 3 Coca-Cola crates and sat out on the sidewalk and put the checkerboard out and started playing. And he beat me the first game, but I got him all figured out. And the second game, I won. And the third game, he got all nervous and was smoking a cigarette. And I would tell him to move. And it got him so upset. He said, just a minute, Cinnamon, just a minute. He puffed that cigarette. Just a minute, Cinnamon. Just a minute. So I beat him the 2 games out of 3 and got the showcase for nothing.
Good.
But we would play for shoes. I always beat him, but he liked to play so good that it didn't matter. He had his shoes priced $1 each. So that made a pair cost $2. It was confusing to the average person.
Mm-hmm.
But he was an old bachelor, and he slept in the back of the store on an old couch, and he had an old pot belly heater that he cooked on. He was a millionaire. He had farms, but he lived a lifestyle like he wanted. One time I was in there talking to him, and gypsies came in. And he got all nervous. He said, Cinnamon, don't leave me. And help me watch. He said, they'll still be blind. He said, and I talked to him later, he said, them gypsies can put a whole boat of cloth underneath their long skirts and hold it and walk out with it. And you can see them. There's so many of them, they would get his attention one way and steal from another. And so he wanted me to help watch him.
Tell her about how you lived in the back of the store with Mom and Joey
Joey was born on the same, I opened that little store on a Saturday. And Joey was born the same day that I opened the store, July the 14th, 1948. And we didn't have a toilet. We lived in the back room until in the back room.
Mm-hmm.
And Grandmama would use, there was a little old dress shop next door on one side and the barber shop on the other. Grandmama would use the restroom in the dress shop. I would use the restroom in the barber shop during the daytime. At night, we had a little old portable toilet, and we used that. And every Sunday morning, my dad would come down, and we'd load it in the car and take it out to the farm and dig a hole and empty it, wash it out, take it back.